In old frontline photos, it looks like nothing more than a heap of metal. But if you look closely, you see something much more. They say this machine could stop even a Tiger tank with a single shot. Yet what happened inside it was rarely written in newspapers. Soldiers called it the monster, engineers, a mistake that became a legend, and enemies, the punishing hand from the east. It burned everything around it, tore through walls like cardboard, leaving behind only smoke, silence, and fear. By the end of this video, you'll discover what made German tank crews panic, why its creators considered the project risky, and how a machine born in hell became a symbol of victory and human spirit. This is the story of the ISU-152, the Beast Slayer, a weapon that didn't just fire, it decided fates. In archived diaries and war memoirs, you sometimes find lines that send chills decades later. Quote, "A single high-explosive shell fired from a Russian self-propelled gun at 500 meters could disable our tank without penetrating the armor. The crew suffered concussions, broken bones, internal injuries. Sometimes the tank simply caught fire." Unquote. These words come from Clemens Stauberg, a driver mechanic of a German heavy tank. He served in the 502nd Battalion, where he first encountered the mysterious Soviet machine nicknamed the Beast Slayer at the front. What was this monster that could, with one shot, crush the hull of a Tiger and send Wehrmacht crews into panic? The answer is preserved not only in archives, but in metal, in the cold steel giant that still stands today on a pedestal in the Belarusian town of Loyew. That's where I went to see the legend with my own eyes. Before me it rose, the ISU-152, harsh, angular, heavy. A machine whose story didn't start in workshops of glory, but in the heart of war, where the fate of thousands of people and entire cities was decided. Simply put, engineers took the mighty 152mm ML-20 howitzer, armored it, and mounted it on a heavy tank chassis. That's how the idea of the assault self-propelled gun was born. The first prototypes were based on the Klim Voroshilov 1S. These vehicles were few, only 24, but they showed for the first time what raw firepower meant. In the summer of 1943, during the Battle of Kursk, they earned their name, the Beast Slayer. That's when German Tigers and Panthers first started burning from a single hit, and steel hulls that had seemed invincible were twisted into wreckage. After Kursk, Soviet industry changed. KV tank production was halted, and a new solution was needed. Enter the heavy tank, Iosif Stalin, the IS, and along with it, a new version of the self-propelled gun. The Su-152 became the ISU-152. It inherited the power of its predecessor, but became more refined. The frontal armor of the turret now reached 90 millimeters, and the interior was redesigned so the crew could work faster and with less risk. Production was set up in two factories, the Chelyabinsk and Leningrad Kirov plants. Where hulls were once welded by hand, automated welding was now used, improving reliability and speeding up assembly. The machine was colossal, around 50 tons. Despite its weight, it could reach speeds up to 40 kilometers per hour. The speedometer was not with the driver, but next to the commander, a symbol of trust and control. Each shell weighed 40 to 50 kilograms, and it took strength and coordination to load it. 2 rounds per minute, that was the maximum even an experienced crew could manage. After each shot, a wave shook the vehicle, ears rang, and a dull thud reverberated through the armor. Inside, gunpowder gases accumulated instantly. Ventilation couldn't keep up,
and crews often opened the hatches, firing almost blindly through smoke and soot. In the memoirs of Officer Dmitry Loyew, one battle stands out where the ISU-152 showed its true strength. Spring 1945, Vienna. Narrow streets, old buildings, stained glass windows. His battalion, armed with American Shermans, was joined by 3 ISU-152s. Their bulk made it hard to move quickly, but when the Germans counterattacked with several Panthers, they saved the day. One command, fire, and the entire street shook. A shell tore a German tank to pieces, the turret flew off, and the shockwave shattered windows in surrounding buildings. Loyew recalled glass covering everything, and many soldiers cut. He and his unit realized in that moment this weapon decided the outcome of battle.
Despite its fearsome nickname, the ISU-152 wasn't only used against enemy tanks. Its main task was destroying fortifications, firing points, artillery, and concrete structures. Its shell could penetrate a 1-meter-thick reinforced concrete wall and destroy a 2-story building with a single hit. That's why the Beast Slayer became indispensable in urban assaults and long-term fortifications. Tank veteran Alexander Pankin recalled, "We tore apart concrete bunkers. The shell went 1.5 meters deep into the structure. I saw bunkers blown apart from the inside by the ammunition's explosion." This is no exaggeration. Where other vehicles got stuck, the ISU-152 paved the way. Behind this power, however, were people. 5 men in a cramped hull: commander, gunner, loader, breach operator, and driver. Each performed their task, and survival depended on their coordination. The loader, exhausted by heavy shells, barely got them into the gun. The breach operator rammed and closed the breach. The gunner aimed. The commander gave orders, and the driver kept the machine moving. Their work wasn't heroic in the usual sense. It was daily, grueling labor at the edge of human capability. The ISU-152 became a symbol of an engineering compromise between power and speed, between destruction and survival. Even the Allies felt its might. When American tankers first saw the Soviet self-propelled gun, many could not believe it could move. Yet it did, slowly, steadily, precisely. Every shot was a death sentence for any opponent, whether armored vehicles or fortified positions. In the final months of the war, the ISU-152 was used in the assaults on Königsberg, Berlin, and Prague. In city combat, it became a real battering ram. No brick wall, no concrete shelter could withstand a 152-millimeter shell. Often the self-propelled guns led the tanks, clearing the way and taking the first enemy fire. Losses were high, but the results were overwhelming. After the victory, the Beast Slayer's story didn't end. Production continued until 1947. About 3,000 units were built. Later, they were modernized with new targeting devices, infrared lights, night vision, and stronger engines. The upgraded ISU-152s served for many more years, guarding borders and participating in exercises. Some were sent to Allied countries and remained in service until the late 20th century. Today, these machines can be seen in museums and memorials. Time has left marks on the armor, yet its power is still felt. The ISU-152 has a unique presence. It does not resemble modern vehicles whose lines are smooth and everything designed for comfort. Its shape is raw, angular, as if the war itself forged it from metal and fear. Approaching it is to feel the breath of an era, to understand the cost of victory. Standing by this machine, one can't help but recall the veteran's words.
We believed in it because it saved us. And looking at the armor, covered in rust and dust of time, you realize this is not just machinery. It is living memory, a metal testament to courage, labor, suffering, and strength.
The ISU-152 remains in history not only as a weapon, but as a symbol of engineering genius and the resilience of the human spirit. It was built in haste, out of necessity, survived decades, and became a monument to human will. And today, standing before it, you feel respect for the designers, workers, and soldiers, everyone who made the impossible possible. The silence around it is broken only by the wind, rustling over the steel tracks, as if echoing the steps of those who once followed it into battle. Looking at this monument, you understand. Greatness lies not in the weapon, but in the people who mastered it. In their courage, patience, and faith. The ISU-152 is not just steel, it is memory sealed in metal.